Dwayne Johnson loses a fight for the first time in movie history in his career. I need to pinch myself because there's no way this is real. This is real, folks. The Smashing Machine is out, and a lot of people are going crazy. A lot of critics are saying this is the best thing ever. This is the best thing since sliced bread. 100% of Rotten Tomatoes. They're getting standing ovations for 20 minutes at Venice Film Festival with Dwayne Johnson crying tears of joy. Dwayne Johnson's losing weight because of this experience because he wants to focus more on acting properly than just starring in the biggest blockbusters. Now, some could be like, oh, this is respectable. This is a transformation in Dwayne Johnson's career and cinema in general. This also might be a psyop. I don't want to be a party pooper, but this might be a psyop, y'all. Dwayne Johnson went from wanting to beat the shit out of Superman in cinema, live for everyone to see, to now he's like, fuck it, I need an Oscar. If I can't have Superman's head on a plate, then I want a golden Oscar in my hand when I give my speech to the masses, even though the Oscars don't mean shit anymore and I'm pretty sure nobody even watches it, but still. I need to prove that I am the best wrestler turned actor because people are saying John Cena and Dave Bautista are better than me. Now fuck this. I needed to show everyone who's the king, who's on the throne, who has the crown. Going into this, I was like, this film has a good chance of being Oscar bait. This film might just be an excuse for Dwayne to say, look everyone, I'm a serious actor. I'm better than those other fuckers. I watched it to see if my hypothesis was correct. And I asked myself, why was this film not made on Mark Coleman instead of Mark Kerr? Mark Coleman seems to have the more traditional fight story that cinema could complement. His entire story, he has a lot more success. His story seems more interesting on the surface level. Why did they go for Mark Kerr's story? Well, that's because Dwayne Johnson can't play Mark Coleman. He looks nothing like him, but this dude, Kerr, he could play him. And that's the thing. This movie is centered around what Dwayne can do. You start to realize really quickly when you answer that question in your head why this was really made. Because there's no... When I asked this, I'm like, why the hell didn't they just do a movie on Mark Coleman? It seems like that would be a far more interesting story. It might be a more traditional, predictable story, granted, but regardless, it feels like that's the kind of movie Hollywood would do, unless this was made for a very specific reason. Now, I'm a fair man. Let me tell you what was good, what worked about this movie, before I tell you what didn't. Okay? Let's start. Emily Blunt is sexy as fuck. Let me just get it out of the way. She's one of my favorite actresses, on a skill, talent level, but she's hot, and that needs to be said. Anyone who disagrees is a psyop sent from Hollywood. And she probably should win or get at least nominated for a Best Supporting Actress role. I'm not even capping about that. She's so fucking good. Of course she is. It's to be expected. It's Emily Blunt! And I did not expect the relationship that was shown in this film to go the places it did. I don't know anything about Mark Kerr's career. I know about like the professional aspects of it, granted, but he's a very low-key figure, even for someone like me who's an MMA UFC fan. This was a crazy relationship. This shit went toxic, dark places. If you watch the movie, you know what I mean. I didn't expect this movie to go to places it did with these two. And let's get to the man himself, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson's good. In fact, relative for his career, this is fucking great. Because I don't really see Dwayne, even though he's Dwayne, I don't see Dwayne for the majority of this film. That's the highest compliment I could give him. He pulls off the very nice, gentlemanly, awkward dude who's clearly has a drug addiction and really is obsessed with being this fighter who never wants to lose. Like, he pulls that off really well, because there are aspects of that are also in Dwayne Johnson's own personality. But I don't see Dwayne until he shaves his head, and then you realize, oh shit, that's Dwayne Johnson. And Dwayne himself starts acting more like himself with his mannerisms when he shaves his head. I gotta say that towards the third act. But besides that, he was fucking great. Not Oscar worthy, I'm not gonna say that, I'm not gonna go that far, but Dwayne, alright bro, I see you. Dwayne, you didn't do bad. I know exactly why you wanted to make this film, so you could show this off, and you know what? You did well, my friend. This guy had some really emotional scenes. There's some scenes where he has to bawl his eyes out. There's some scenes where he has to get angry. There's some scenes where he has to just be Mark Kerr. There's some scenes where he has to be depressed and addicted. Pulls them all off pretty well. Ryan Bader plays Mark Coleman in this movie, and he's not bad either. He's pretty good for a UFC fighter who's never acted. He's pretty decent. Besides that, there's not much of a story here. Mark Kerr's career, it doesn't warrant a crazy third act structure story, right? Not like Mark Coleman, which is why I question why was it made. This movie basically is like a linear thread. Not even a narrative, it's just a thread connecting argument scenes with him and Emily Blunt, going off on each other, showing off their acting chops and their emotional beats. That's what the film is. This film is basically a thread tying together great performances so the movie can show off to you how good the performances are, not how good the film is as a story or a plot or this grandiose masterwork. That's what it is. Mark Kerr, this film, in my opinion, is not meant to show you how great Mark Kerr's career and how great this pioneer of the UFC is, even though they do pay respects to Mark Kerr a lot in the film. This is not for that. I believe that this is, in the most respectful way, a vanity project for Dwayne Johnson to show you, I can act now. I can act now. I'm not a hater. I've made a lot of fucking videos on Dwayne Johnson calling him out, okay? So I can be seen as a hater. I understand that. But I don't hate Dwayne Johnson. I don't hate my heart for this man. But I will call this out as I see it. This film is clear Oscar bait. Now, I enjoyed the Oscar bait, but it is Oscar bait nonetheless. The only reason this movie was made was for Dwayne Johnson to show you how much he deserves an Academy Award. It's not to show you, this Mark, maybe to a degree it's to show you, the pioneer of the UFC and all that, but that's a secondary thing. This is Dwayne Johnson's baby that he wants to show you how great he is. And listen, there are things I respect about this film. I respect that. Look at her. Even look at Dwayne. Look at her. He's like, holy God, she's so hot. And she is. She's fun as fuck. I respect Dwayne for actually getting vulnerable and going emotional and actually losing fights. This brother gets his ass whooped. He gets his ass whooped by Alexander Usyk. I thought going into this film, Dwayne Johnson would win the final fight of the movie against Alexander Usyk's character and become the king of fighting, because Alexander Usyk is the best heavyweight boxer in the world right now. The baddest man on the planet. Dwayne, of course you're going to want to beat him like you wanted to beat Superman. But no, that doesn't happen. In fact, spoiler alert, right here, if you care. If you know Mark Kerr's career, this is not a spoiler, but still. Dwayne loses his fight to Usyk, granted under suspicious terms because Usyk kind of violated a rule. But I thought he was going to get a rematch and beat Usyk's ass because that rule was violated, and in a fair fight he'd win. But no, he doesn't even get to that point because he loses badly to another dude. Now granted, he has an excuse because he was drinking and partying and blah blah blah, doing shit he shouldn't have because of Emily Blunt's bad influence, but still. He loses a lot, and he's not the main man of the movie. He's not the man who wins it all. That's Mark Coleman. That's Mark Coleman's story. Dwayne's character doesn't have that story. I wouldn't have thought 5 years ago, or 2 years ago, or even a year ago, that Dwayne would take a role like this. Because Dwayne always needs to be that guy. He needs to be the main guy. He fucking has a contract that says he cannot take a certain amount of punches more than his co-stars. He has the Fast and Furious contracts. And yet he was getting his ass whooped multiple times in this. I'll give him credit where it's due. I didn't think you'd do that, Dwayne. He valued the performance over badassery. But instead of showing you how badass and cool of a hero he is and how he's that guy, he wants to show you how he's that guy through acting. So this is a long-term play from Dwayne to say, listen, I need them to see how good of an actor I am. They need to see me opening up and being vulnerable so that they can see me in a different light, give me a chance to show them I'm a great actor. And now I'm going to create a new brand image off of this. This is a springboard for the new brand image, which is Dwayne Johnson, not the wrestler turned actor, but the actor. That is the ultimate wool over the head, wool over the eyes trick that Dwayne's playing. And listen, if Dwayne wants to take on more acting roles and pursue them and actually be a good actor and good stories, who the fuck am I to complain? That's what I want. But that's what this film is. I don't consider this like a movie. I consider this a springboard for his own ambitions. And as much as this did pay respects to Mark Kerr, I think it was low-key an Oscar bait vanity project for Dwayne. Everyone knew this. A lot of people knew this was the case. I'm not saying anything new that you haven't heard. I'm kind of trying to respectfully say it because I do respect what Emily Blunt and Dwayne did in this film. But this film doesn't have a lot to it besides their argument scenes and performances, to be honest. A lot of you might disagree with me. A lot of you might love this film. I don't think this film is that great, personally. I don't think this is the Oscar-worthy film. I don't think it's going to win Best Film of the Year. Well, it might, because the Oscars are fucking stupid now. But still, this is a decently made film with great performances. And that's it. I don't think it's anything special beyond that. It's not the best fight-related film. It's not the best sports-related film ever. Not even close to the top. It's not even top 5 best fight films of all time. I don't even know if it's top 10. Are there top 10? A decent film, but Oscar baity as fuck. I see you, Dwayne. I see you. No one can hide from me. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to take over Hollywood. But the army must keep growing. If you want to suggest video topics to me, or talk about your favorite movies or favorite film theories in a community with like-minded individuals, join the Zafy Discord now. Link is in the description and the comment section as well. Join us. This movement is just beginning. We're taking over Hollywood, one coke line at a time.